Hello, Liz.
Hello, Mark.
Thanks so much for joining us. So you're a member of St Martin's. How long have you been coming along to St Martin's?
Oh, Lord. 35 years.
35 years. Wow.
That's quite scary. I came when I was 18. So,
Wow.
yeah, 35 years.
Yeah, so a long time.
Yeah, it feels like it sometimes. No, it's
Hopefully in a good way.
In a really good way, yeah.
Brilliant. Can you tell us a little bit about what happened to you and your family over Christmas, New Year?
Yeah, we obviously we got locked down just before Christmas, which was a bit of a shock, and it did derail some of our plans. But we had a lovely Christmas day. I have a 94-year-old mother who we need to keep protected, so we didn't see my son or his girlfriend. It was just like literally us because we were mum's support bubble, and that was really a really lovely day. So we took all the precautions. After Christmas, started to feel a bit grotty. And sort of thought, oh, I'm getting a cold. I just felt a bit rough. And as the days went on, my daughter said to me, she said, I think you need to take a COVID test. She said, just in case. So I said, okay. She booked one for herself because she's a teacher, and one for me. And we waited, and we still didn't think it was anything very much. But then on the Monday, we got the positive result. It was COVID. So we thought, we isolate, we stay at home, we just sort of weather it out. And for the first couple of days, although we felt unwell, it was manageable. It was only at the end of that first week that suddenly I thought, hang on, things now are really becoming a struggle. The breathing wasn't very good. Everything made us breathless. We had the pain, the headaches, the shivers, and it really felt, it absolutely floored us. We couldn't walk 7-8 feet to get the back door open to let our dogs out. We had to get them off to the borders because we just couldn't look after them. We couldn't walk to the kitchen to get a drink. To go from bed to downstairs took 2 hours without getting washed or dressed. It was the most debilitating thing I have ever experienced. And for my daughter, who thankfully, although she contracted it, she was very mild in her symptoms. Chris, my husband, he was floored. And my daughter told me afterwards, she would come in at night to check that we were still breathing, but she was coming in to check I wasn't dead, which was a terrible stress on her. And for about a week, I had to actually sleep sitting up because to lay down means my breathing went, I couldn't catch my breath. So I had to sleep literally sitting upright in bed, which was awful. And it was a really frightening time. It was, we were very scared.
Yeah.
At how we were feeling and what the outcome was going to be.
Yeah. And because you ended up in hospital, didn't you, for a night to get some assistance?
I did. On the Saturday, my breathing was so awful. I phoned 111 and they just said, basically, long story short, you need to go to hospital. Chris actually thought, when I said goodbye to him, I went off in the ambulance. Chris actually thought he was never going to see me again, that was it. And we've heard about people being ventilated on oxygen. And it was, I was petrified. I was very, very scared. I thought that was it. I thought they're going to put me in hospital and I just don't know when I'm coming out. Thankfully, when I got to the hospital, the doctor took all my SATs and we had various tests. And he said, yes, he said, you've got a problem with your lungs. But he said, but you're not the worst I've seen. And I think that day I was given what I needed. Is a kind doctor who told me about COVID, the effects it had on, and things I could do to help. And he said to me, he said, I don't want to admit you. He said, I think, he said, we're going to try a different approach. So he basically gave me a bag full of drugs and antibiotics, anti-sickness, and said, go home. He said, let's see if these can help you. And they did. It was a slow process. It took 3 weeks to feel even anywhere back to even halfway normal. And it's taken about 3 months, which the doctor told me it would, to actually feel like I did pre-COVID. It's been a really sort of slow journey back, but but the relief was immense. I know by comparison, a lot of people end up much sicker in hospital, and I can't even imagine the terror. It certainly gave us a new awareness of what it really is to suffer with coronavirus, thinking of those poor people who were so much worse off.
Yeah. No, thank you, Liz, for sharing that with me, with us. Yeah. And in the midst of all of that, how did your faith in Jesus just help you through that time?
Yeah, I don't think we would have. I think I'd have been we prayed non-stop, and it's funny, you wanted to pray, Lord, make me better, but I actually just prayed, Lord, keep me out of hospital, just keep Charlotte safe, keep my mum safe, because I couldn't see my mum at all during that time. It was too dangerous. We just found we were just praying to God, and despite being so very unwell, he took the anxiety away. I firmly believe God put that doctor in my path to reassure the fears and to give me advice and tips on what I could do to make sure that my breathing didn't get worse. So I think we'd never have got through that time without the faith we had in God, that he would protect us and look after us.
Yeah.
And we felt very protected.
Yeah, no, that's great.
And also with our friends from St. Martin's, there was we couldn't see anyone, obviously, but every day, I don't think there was a day that went past in that entire month we didn't hear from someone from St. Martin's with messages, with emails. To talk on the phone was very difficult because of the breathlessness, but the loving support we got, even remotely, by email, by Zoom, by text message, was overwhelming. That the love we got from the St. Martin's family, it was amazing. It was so lovely, and it made all the difference.
Yeah, no, that's great. Yeah, no, that was going to be my second question, but you kind of but that's great. So you felt, your faith was really important to you and helped you deal with that anxiety and concerns that you had, and then just the support and love and prayer you had from St. Martin's helped. Yeah. No, that's great. And there were lots of people praying for you and for Chris and for Charlotte as you went through that really challenging and difficult time for you as a family. And how are you doing now?
Yeah, we're doing great now. I mean, it did take the 3 months. When the doctor told me, I thought 3 months, but actually it did take the 3 months. The insomnia was dreadful, and that took a long time to get rid of. But yeah, we're feeling actually almost completely back to normal. And obviously lockdown, we all let everything slide. It's sort of like we're being locked down, so we're not going to make healthy choices. But now, suddenly now we're out the other side, we're thinking, no, we need to take care of ourselves. We need to eat better, be healthier. So that's something we've started. Now things are going back to normal. We're eating better going into the summer. So yeah, we feel absolutely great. And more importantly, I'm not taking that for granted.
Yeah.
It's a period of my life. I never ever want to feel that ill ever again. So we're feeling absolutely great. So, and I think it's also taught me healing doesn't have to be instant. It can be done over time. And looking back, I can see from the very start, God was working in us, and we had his healing was on us. It took the time, but we've got there in the end. And I give thanks for that. I will never take good health for granted ever again.
Yeah, and that often is the case, isn't it? We often do take things for granted, but then we go through something like that, and it makes us aware of things more, and makes us more thankful for those things, and thankful to the Lord.
Absolutely.
He's blessed us with seasons of good health, and maybe when we haven't had good health, he's still blessed us in other ways in helping us get through those difficulties. And yeah,
absolutely. And I can certainly see how he worked with the church, even though we couldn't see each other. I think he was absolutely in the heart of St. Martin's with the people that reached out to us, and we were really blessed.
Yeah. That's great. Yeah. Well, thanks so much just for sharing that with us, Liz, sharing a little bit of your story and experience of COVID and how, your faith and church family helped you through that. So thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Thanks, Mark.
Yeah. Thanks, Liz.
Okay.